Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessica Flynn and I am the owner and maker of Flynn Sisters Boutique. And today we are going to be doing a tutorial on what I like to call, I guess, like a waterfall ombre. Basically, it's like if you want to just do a single color ombre over spray paint. Okay, so you're not going to have glitter on both sides of your design. It's just one glitter kind of cascading down the paint. And I really like this look. There's so many different color combinations. It's super stunning on like a black or a white spray paint, and then you have like some kind of really sparkly metallic glitter coming down. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you what this looks like against a neon color spray paint, which I thought was kind of fun for summer, but I'll also show you some other looks here on where I've done this before. It's a fun and easy way to get a cup done super fast. So if you have a really stunning, beautiful metallic glitter that you want to do a simple ombre design with, this is a great look. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so unfortunately when I first went to film this tutorial, my camera was not filming, so I missed a better part of the glittering process. But you guys have seen me do this before. Mainly, the most important thing when doing this ombre against the spray paint and no other glitter up top is very, very little epoxy. So I'm applying the glitter with epoxy. I put less than 1 milliliter of epoxy on there. I literally dipped my finger into the epoxy 1 or 2 times and I wiped it onto the cup. Now you'll want your cup to be warm, but not too warm when you go to apply that epoxy. And then you want to apply your chunkiest glitter first. And I got 2 colors that I'm using that are both the same color. They're both a silver holographic. We're using Chandler Bling and Guide Diamond. Both the same color, just the Guide Diamond is a finer cut of the Chandler Bling, and I'll explain to you in a minute why that's important. So when I go to apply the glitter, I was just holding it at a really steep angle and lightly tapping on the glitter. You guys have seen me do this before in a lot of my other ombre videos. It's the same thing. The only difference is we're not going to add another glitter up top. On the bottom of the cup, I am only applying the finer cut of these 2 colors, which is the Guide Diamond. The reason I'm not going to put the chunkier glitter on the bottom is because it is easier to finish the cup when I don't have a bunch of chunky glitter down there. I never like to put chunky glitter on the bottom of my cups. I always put a finer cut on the bottom. Next, since I've got all the chunky glitter laid, I am very, very carefully and very slowly sprinkling a tiny bit of this Guide Diamond through the Chandler Bling. And this is just going to help blend that bottom edge there so I get totally full coverage on the first inch of the bottom of the cup, if that makes sense. So if you guys have seen my ombre tutorial, this is the same thing of how I start with the chunky glitter at the bottom. Okay, the only difference is we have less epoxy, so you're not going to get any movement from your glitter, and we're not going to add another color up top. Okay, so here I am just with the cup at a very steep angle, and I'm very carefully applying that Guide Diamond. Just really want to kind of use this finer cut of the silver holographic to cover up any kind of patchy areas. Again, here at the bottom, I'm just really letting it rip with the Guide Diamond because I really want to get heavy coverage at the bottom of the cup, okay? Now, if you guys were doing like a black cup with like blue on the bottom. You could have base painted that blue just a little bit so it'd be easier for you to cover it. Normally I would probably base paint the bottom of a cup like this white. I just didn't think to do it. But really this glitter is so beautiful, so high coverage. I really didn't need to. I think it covered just fine. Here I'm going over all the pieces that might be sticking up with a piece of parchment paper, and this is just going to help me to epoxy it smoother later on. Okay, and as soon as we're done glittering the cup, I'm just going to put it on my turner to dry. This is different from how I would normally do a cup in that I would just hang dry it, but with this single color ombre, you do want to leave it on the turner to dry because you will get some movement from your glitter. After about 2 to 3 hours, I take my cup off the turner and I brush off and tap off any excess that might be on there. Notice my epoxy should be completely dry before I do this. So if you have epoxy that takes longer than 2 to 3 hours to get firm, then you might want to wait a little longer for this step. I also like to seal it just because I do not want to get any kind of movement from that glitter up into the top section where I have just my spray paint. After that clear coat dries, I'm going to apply my first layer of epoxy. For this cup, I'm using about 30 milliliters of Alumilite epoxy, and I am going to let this dry for at least 8 to 10 hours. All right, so after my cup has been drying for 8 to 10 hours, I'm just going to sand around the top rim of the cup and expose a thin line of stainless steel. This is where I like to establish the seal for my cup. I always do this to all my cups, even if we just have spray paint up there. So I'm just gonna sand all of the way around the cup with this 80 grit sanding block and make a nice uniform thin line. And again, this is where the final coats of epoxy will adhere to create a seal for the cup. All right, now I'm also going to take the same sanding block and just lightly knock off any kind of pieces that might be sticking out really far or any sharp pieces. Do not do this if you feel a lot of the glitter coming through, because you can risk sanding off color from your glitter. So if you are questioning about that, or if you're worried about that, just wait until your second coat of epoxy to sand the sides and the bottom rim. I'm also going to clean out the inside of the cup while I have a chance. So I'm just going around the rim of my cup with an X-Acto knife really carefully, making sure I do not scratch the inside of my cup. And then I'm also cleaning out any excess paint that might have gotten inside of the cup with some acetone and a paper towel. You want to be really careful when you're doing this to, number one, not cut yourself, and number two, to not scratch the inside of the cup. So I'm just cleaning out the inside here with acetone. I will probably end up doing this again at the very end. I just wanted to show you guys why I had a chance, how I clean out that excess stuff. All right, so after I get everything sanded and cleaned up, I take it inside and get it washed out along the inside and outside with some dish soap and water, dry it off with some coffee filters, and now I'm going to apply our decal to the cup. All right, so next I'm going to seal my decal in with Quick Coat from Counterculture. Quick Coat is just a water-based urethane sealer, and it's just going to help seal that decal in so when I do put epoxy over it, none of the edges will bubble up. After I apply this to the whole cup, I just let it dry for about 45 minutes, and then I will move into my final coats of epoxy. Alright, so our Quick Coat sealer has had 45 minutes to dry, and I'm just applying the final layers of epoxy. So this one took me 2 layers of epoxy to fully finish it, and I think it turned out great. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial, and we will see you Saturday. If you love this video, you could check out our last video here. Also be sure to find us on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and of course subscribe for all our new videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.